The greatest threat in the galaxy wasn't power. It was her mind. In a room of monsters, the deadliest weapon hides in plain sight. A single rule bends the stars, but one mind will snap it. The grand lecture hall of Atlas Interstellar Academy loomed dozens of meters high. Its silver-plated dome ceiling reflected cold, artificial light. That light mimicked distant stars. It created an oppressive sense of scale. Isolation pressed down on all inside. Over 200 candidates crammed into tiered seating. They hailed from 40 distinct species. Diverse physiologies clashed. Scales scraped against tentacles. Ethereal forms drifted through solid ones. The air thickened with pheromones. Heated metal scents mixed with ozone from energy fields. Chaos reigned in the mix. Massive holographic walls dominated the space. They projected the exam prompt in universal lingua franca. Identify the greatest threat in this room. Letters glowed in unyielding blue. They demanded immediate attention. No one could ignore them. Mira Quinn settled in the third row. She was 25, Earthborn, a structural engineer. Brown hair tied back neatly. Crisp gray uniform hugged her average build. Sharp intellect hid behind it. She pored over an antique technical notebook, oblivious to the din around her. General Corvin Drake towered over 3 meters. A Dravar warrior. He dominated his seat like a living fortress. Thick, steel-like scaled skin gleamed. Piercing golden eyes scanned the room. Predatory confidence radiated. He convinced himself his raw power made him the obvious choice. Cyril Vance pulsed nearby. A crystalline entity. Multifaceted, translucent surfaces shimmered. Internal light rhythms beat like a heartbeat. He processed environmental data. Probabilistic algorithms ran constantly. The assembly became a matrix of variables in his view. Lucian Darrow hovered in his spot, a luminous being of shifting mist-like light. Ethereal form moved silently, minimally verbal. Glow intensity altered to mirror collective emotional undercurrents. The crowd's tension fed into him. Professor Roland Hale stood at the front. Septuagenarian proctor. Silver hair framed a gaunt face. DA's deep blue academic robe draped over him. Raspy yet resonant voice cut through. You have 2 hours. Identify the greatest threat in this room. Choose carefully. He leaned on a cane etched with interstellar symbols. The air thickened with anticipation. Species-specific sense intensified. Candidates shifted uncomfortably. The hall's acoustic design amplified every rustle. Every murmur became a symphony of interstellar tension. Subtle environmental controls kicked in. Neutral gravity held steady. Temperature remained even. Psychological pressure mounted. It foreshadowed deeper layers, beyond mere identification. Mira flipped a page in her notebook. Sketches of galactic structures filled it, weak points marked in red. She ignored the growing murmurs, focused on lines and angles. Corvin flexed his scales. A low rumble escaped him, eyes locked on smaller beings. He sized them up, dismissed most as weak. Cyril's lights flickered. Data streamed in. Air composition. Heart rates were applicable. Threat levels are calculated in real time. Lucian dimmed a fraction. Tension rose. His form contracted slightly. Hale tapped his cane once. Silence fell heavier. Eyes turned to the holograms. A tentacled being from an aquatic world slithered into its seat. Appendages fidgeted. Concealed tools clicked softly. A hulking, furred creature from a high-gravity planet growled low. Muscular build tensed. Eyes showed strategic doubt. Ethereal gas-based entities floated near the ceiling. Forms diffused and reformed. They added to the ozone scent. Silent observers of power dynamics. Mira traced a diagram. A bridge collapse simulation. Systemic flaws glared back. She nodded to herself. The interplay sharpened. Physical might versus subtle minds. The exam hinted at perception over prowess. The timer chimed softly. It echoed through the hall. Candidates erupted. Roars filled the air. Claws extended. Toxins are released in controlled bursts. A cacophony of intimidation. Mira stayed seated, composed. She flipped another page. Steady breathing cut through chaos. Subtle glances turned her way. Corvin rose partially. Scales clinked like armor. He bellowed a challenge. It reverberated off the walls. Asserted Dravar conquest history. Cyril's facets shimmered faster. Threat probabilities spiked. Lights flickered in anomaly patterns. Lucian dimmed more. Absorbed aggressive energies. Form braced against the storm. Hale observed from his podium. Kane tapped rhythmically. A faint smile hid under a stern face. Predictable reactions noted. Holographic prompts flickered. 2-hour limit reinforced. Sensors adjusted. Neutralized hazardous emissions. A psychic aura blanketed the room. From a telepathic species. It probed minds for weaknesses. Retracted against resistant ones like Cyril. Mira's eyes lifted briefly. Scanned walls for cues. Engineering mind-dissected design. Sought metaphorical traps. Frenzy peaked. Then subsided. Wary surveillance took over. Overt shows risked backfire. Subtle annotations appeared on holograms. Any candidate identified as the greatest threat will be immediately disqualified, along with their species. A wave of recalculations hit. Mira furrowed her brow. The political underbelly is clear. Mechanism to purge civilizations. Human perspective alerted her to biases. Corvin growled in confusion. Golden eyes narrowed. Self-proclaimed strength now a target? Cyril's lights pulsed erratically. Cross-referenced rule. Historical precedents. 98% abuse risk detected. Lucian brightened intermittently. Collective paranoia grew. Forms swirled as whispers spread. Tentacled candidates murmured. Exploited the rule against weak humans. Appendages gestured at Mira. Insidious intent. Hale remained impassive. Gaze swept the room. Cataloged reactions. Separated conformists from disruptors. Mira's notebook shifted. Diagramming rule interactions. Cascading conflicts illustrated. Furred behemoth exhaled heavily. Breath like thunder. Contemplated alliances. Deflect threats. The atmosphere shifted. Bravado to calculation. Sidelong glances multiplied. Verbal confrontations loomed. Mira stood calmly, notebook in hand. The greatest threat isn't fangs or armor. It's the architect of rules that can obliterate species on a whim. Voice cut through murmurs. Precision tool. Corvin paused, posturing. Slowly receded. Scales shifted. Processed insight. Grudging acknowledgement. Cyril vocalized metallic. Systemic vulnerability confirmed. Rule exploitation probability exceeds tolerable thresholds. Facets aligned in agreement. Lucian radiated a steady glow. Emerging consensus. Light illuminated candidates, eased tensions. Whispers evolved. Open debates. Psychic entities broadcast doubts. Fairness is questioned across mental links. Hale leaned forward. Kane steady, eyes gleamed. Anticipation for challenge. Mira elaborated. Rules design flaws. Compared to interstellar bridges, collapse under uneven loads, gas-based entities condensed, voiced ethereal concerns, species-wide repercussions, forms stabilized in solidarity. Corvin muttered, "You strike without weapons, human. Wound deeper." Rumble of respect. The room's holographics flickered, responded to upheaval, hinted at monitoring. Candidates formed clusters, debated Mira's thesis. Telepathic species aligned with Cyril. Auras merged. Analytical harmony. Corvin approached Mira. Massive frame cast a shadow. Proposed truce. Dissect rule origins. Galactic politics. Lucian positioned himself near. Light modulated. Highlighted arguments. Nonverbal bridges across species. Mira sketched amendments. Notebook shared. Visuals depicted reforms. Engineering precision won skeptics. Cyril computed scenarios. Projected simulations. Cascading disqualifications revealed. Hale intervened minimally. Rhetorical questions. Nudge toward critique. Hand hidden. Tentacled beings retracted hostilities. Whispers supportive. The rule threatens aquatic alliances. Furred creatures contributed analogies. Predatory traps on homeworlds. Enriched dialogue. Tensions eased. Collaborative energy. Mira pivoted. Calm logic bridged worldviews. The timer ticked down. Alliances accelerated. Insights pooled. The exam became a diplomatic microcosm, Mira declared. The rule itself, ultimate threat, erased civilizations arbitrarily. Words silenced the hall, breaths held. Collective realization. Corvin nodded solemnly. Human, your vision pierces armor. Stance shifted. Dominance to deference. Cyril affirmed. Abuse vector at critical levels. Reform imperative. Lights stabilized. Logical endorsement. Hale stepped forward. Kane echoed. At last, courage speaks. Revealed purpose. Identify challengers of unjust systems. The second twist unfolded. No elimination. The test sought questioners of obedience. Humanity proved its mettle through Mira. Lucian erupted in luminescence. Relieved enlightenment. Form expanded. Warm light enveloped allies. Holographics dissolved rule. Replaced with commendations. Gas rippled. Mira processed the revelation. Notebook closed. Shift from analysis to action. Corvin extended a scaled hand. Respect. Interspecies bond forged. Hall transformed. Tension to triumph. Hale's disclosure redefined power. Principled dissent. Corvin bowed to Mira. Clawless combat, yet victorious. Gesture symbolized humility. Cyril logged. Humanity vital for resilience. Integration recommended. Data archive for records. Lucian shone vividly. Unity testament. Light faded gently. Resolutions formed. The Academy announced its curriculum. Strategic dissent and systemic analysis. Mira was invited as an instructor. Perceptive breakthrough. Mira departed the hall. Notebook tucked. Gazes trailed. All mixed with reevaluation. Ordinary form iconic. Secondary candidates dispersed. Lessons of subtlety. Reforms seated on homeworlds. Hale retired to chambers. Satisfied. Legacy extended. Dome lights dimmed. Closure. Whispers promised ripples in governance. Mira reflected. Earth's role in the cosmos. Victory affirmed intellect. True equalizer among stars. Narrative concluded. Universe altered. Challenging rules hallmark of leadership. Mira Quinn sat rigid, her notebook open. Her earthborn logic cut through the alien chaos. At 25, she'd navigated human bureaucracies. Red tape taught her patience. Justice fueled her calm. She stood out among aggressors. Her gray uniform, crisp and unadorned, marked her as unassuming. Yet her mind churned like a fusion reactor, dissecting systems for flaws. General Corvin Drake loomed in his seat, a Dravar war machine. 3 meters of scaled muscle, forged in planetary wars. His kind conquered through brute force. Arrogance defined him, but honor bound him. Strength ruled his world, yet he respected cunning when it proved itself. His golden eyes flicked toward Mira, assessing. Cyril Vance pulsed with crystalline precision. His silicon form processed data faster than organic brains. Facets gleamed, reflecting the hall's cold light. He sought truth in numbers. Emotions were noise, irrelevant. The room was a data set. Each candidate is a variable. His lights flickered, logging every move. Lucian Darrow hovered, mist-like light shifting. His form reacted to the room's mood. Silent, he spoke through spectral changes, dimming when tension spiked, brightening with hope. Empathy ran deep, hidden in his reticence. He could sway alliances without a word. His glow pulsed softly now, uneasy. Professor Roland Hale watched from his podium. 70 years etched his gaunt face. His blue robe hung loose, but his eyes burned sharp. Decades at the Academy hit his goal: find reformers, not drones. Galactic injustices weighed on him. He sought those who'd break chains, not forge them. A tentacled candidate from an aquatic world slithered nearby. Its appendages twitched, clutching hidden tools. Whispers escaped it, venomous. Humans are frail, easy to crush. Suspicion dripped from its words. It eyed Mira, calculating her as a soft target. A furred behemoth from a high-gravity planet shifted. Its bulk suggested raw power. Muscles rippled under thick hide. Yet its eyes held doubt. Brute force might not win here. It growled low, testing the air, weighing alliances. Gas-based entities drifted above. Ethereal, they diffused and reformed. Their presence thickened the ozone scent. Silent, they watched power shift below. Observers, not actors, but their weight lingered in the room's dynamics. Mira's notebook held more than sketches. Pages mapped galactic architectures, weak points circled in red. Bridges, stations, systems, all prone to collapse if misdesigned. Her mind worked the same way. Problems weren't people. They were structures. Flaws to fix, not foes to fight. The hall buzzed with clashing egos. Physical might flexed against subtle intellects. The exam's true test began to surface. Perception, not power, would decide the outcome. The holographic walls pulsed. The prompt, identify the greatest threat, loomed larger. Candidates shifted, sizing each other up. Scales clinked. Tentacles writhed. Lights flickered. The air grew denser, electric. Mira traced a diagram. A flawed joint in a starship hull. Her pencil moved with precision. She ignored the posturing around her. Focused on patterns, systems, truths hidden in design. Corvin's scales scraped as he leaned forward. His voice rumbled. This room holds no equal to Dravar's might. He spoke to no one in particular. A challenge to all. His claws tapped his seat, impatient. Cyril's facets spun data. Threat assessment incomplete. Variables unstable. His metallic voice cut through. He scanned Mira. Human, anomaly, heart rate steady, no stress markers. His lights pulsed, intrigued. Lucian dimmed further. The room's aggression weighed on him. His form shrank, bracing. Yet he drifted closer to Mira. Her calm drew him. A beacon in the storm. Hale's cane tapped once, a signal. Time moves, choose wisely. His voice carried weight. Not a command, but a warning. His eyes lingered on Mira, then flicked away. The tentacle being hissed. Humans lack claws, no armor. Why are they here? Its appendages clicked, mocking. Others murmured agreement. Eyes turned to Mira. A target painted. The furred creature growled louder. Strength wins wars. Its voice shook the air, but its gaze darted. Uncertain. The rule's shadow loomed. Strength might betray it. Gas entities pulsed above. Their forms swirled, unreadable. They absorbed the room's tension, silent judges in the chaos. Mira's pencil paused. She felt the stares. Her lips tightened. Not fear, calculation. She saw the game. Not the candidates, the system itself. Her notebook held the key. Not weapons, ideas. The interplay intensified. Brute force postured, subtle minds watched. The exam wasn't about claws or toxins. It tested who saw the board, not the pieces. Corvin stood towering. If threat means power, I am it. His scales flared, a display of dominance. The room quieted, awed, but Mira didn't flinch. Cyril's light steadied. Power is not a threat. Data suggests otherwise. His gaze locked on the holograms. The rule's text glowed brighter. A trap, not a guide. Lucian's glow flickered. He sensed the shift. Aggression waned, doubt crept in. His light stabilized, reflecting the change. Hale leaned on his cane, watched, waited. The room was a crucible. He needed fire, not smoke. The tentacled being slithered closer. Humans are nothing, we vote them out. Its voice was a wet hiss. Allies nodded. A coalition formed. Mira's species hung in the balance. Mira closed her notebook, stood. Her voice was steady. You see claws, scales, toxins. I see a rule that can erase us all. The room stilled. Her words landed like a blade. Precise, lethal. Corvin's eyes narrowed. He sat slowly. Speak, human. Respect edged his growl. Her logic pierced his armor. Cyril's facets aligned. Rule analysis required. Systemic flaw probable. His lights pulsed in rhythm. Agreement. Lucian brightened. A soft glow spread. Consensus formed. Mira's words reshaped the room. Hale's lips twitched. Barely. He saw it. The spark he sought. A mind that questioned, not obeyed. The holograms flickered again. Annotations grew clearer. Disqualification of a candidate means disqualification of their species. The stakes sharpened. Mira's mind raced. Earth could fall. One vote could end it. Her calm held. She saw the trap, not in the room, in the rules. The tentacled being hesitated. Appendages stilled. Its coalition wavered. Doubt spread. The furred creature exhaled, a rumble. She speaks truth. Rules can kill. It leaned back, rethinking. Gas entities condensed slightly. Their silence spoke. They saw the shift. Power wasn't in muscle. It was in insight. Mira's notebook stayed closed. She didn't need it now. The room was her diagram, flaws exposed. She stood taller. An engineer, not a warrior. Yet the room turned to her. The timer ticked. 90 minutes left. Tension coiled tighter. Alliances formed in whispers, eyes darted. The exam's true nature emerged. The holographic walls pulsed. The timer's soft chime cut through the lecture hall. 90 minutes remained. Candidates erupted. Roars echoed. Claws flashed. Toxins misted the air in controlled bursts. Intimidation tactics filled the space with chaos. The exam's pressure ignited raw displays of power. Mira Quinn stayed seated. Her notebook lay open, pencil still. Steady breaths marked her calm. She flipped a page, eyes tracing a diagram of a collapsing star bridge. Chaos swirled around her. She ignored it. Her focus was steel, drawing subtle glances from nearby candidates. General Corvin Drake rose halfway. Scales clinked like armor plating. His bellow shook the air. Dravar history is conquest. None here matches us. His golden eyes swept the room, daring challengers. His massive frame loomed, a living siege engine asserting dominance. Cyril Vance's crystalline facets shimmered faster. Data streamed through his silicon form. Threat probabilities spiked with each outburst. Candidate aggression levels exceed baseline. Anomalies detected. His lights flickered in jagged patterns, logging the rising tension. Mira's calm registered as an outlier. Lucian Darrow dimmed, his mist-like form contracting. Aggressive energies pressed on him. He hovered closer to Mira, drawn to her stillness. His glow pulsed faintly, reflecting the room's emotional storm. Silent, he absorbed the chaos, a barometer of the crowd's unrest. Professor Roland Hale stood at his podium, cane tapping rhythmically. A faint smile ghosted his stern face. Predictable reactions unfolded before him. He scanned the room, noting each candidate's move. His eyes lingered on Mira, then flicked to the holograms. The game was unfolding as planned. Holographic prompts flickered. The 2-hour limit glared in blue. Environmental sensors hummed, neutralizing toxins. The hall's systems maintained order, but the psychological strain grew. Candidates shifted, their displays teetering on reckless. A telepathic species unleashed a psychic aura. It swept the room, probing minds for weaknesses. Thoughts brushed against Mira's focus, then recoiled. Cyril's crystalline structure blocked it entirely. The aura retracted, its source, a sleek, eyeless being, hissing in frustration. Mira's eyes lifted briefly. She scanned the walls. Holographic text glowed. Her engineering mind dissected the room's design. Hidden cameras, subtle sensors. The architecture itself was a player. She sought traps not in candidates, but in the system's framework. The frenzy peaked. Roars softened. Claws retracted. Toxins dissipated. Candidates sensed a misstep. Overt power might doom them. Wary surveillance replaced bravado. Eyes darted, assessing new angles. Corvin lowered himself, scales scraping. Strength alone may not suffice. His growl was quieter, thoughtful. He glanced at Mira, her stillness unsettling his warrior's instinct. Cyril's light steadied. Initial displays are inefficient. Strategic reassessment required. His voice was metallic, precise. He pivoted his facets toward the holograms, analyzing the rule's text for flaws. Lucian's glow stabilized, dim but steady. The room's aggression waned. His form expanded slightly, reflecting a shift toward caution. He drifted nearer to Mira, his light pulsing in sync with her calm. Hale's cane tapped once. Time presses. Choose with care. His raspy voice carried a warning, not of failure, but of blindness. He leaned forward, eyes sharp, watching for the spark of defiance. The tentacled candidate hissed again. Humans are no threat. Weak bones. No venom. Its appendages clicked, pointing at Mira. Others murmured agreement, forming a loose coalition. Earth became a target. The furred behemoth growled low. Its massive frame shifted. Power wins battles. But this? Its eyes narrowed, doubtful. The rule's shadow loomed larger. Strength could betray its wielder. Gas-based entities swirled above. Their forms tightened, less diffuse. They added to the ozone scent, observing silently. Their presence felt heavier, as if judging the room's pivot. Mira's pencil moved again. She sketched a rule interaction, a cascade effect. One accusation could topple a species. Her mind mapped the exam like a faulty circuit. Flaws glared. She saw the political trap. Earth's survival hung on her next move. The holograms flickered. Annotations sharpened. Any candidate identified as the greatest threat will be immediately disqualified, along with their species. The words burned into the room's consciousness. Mira's brow furrowed. She saw the mechanism, a tool to purge civilizations. Her human perspective caught the bias. Collective accusations could erase Earth. Her calm held, but her pulse quickened. Corvin's scales tensed. His golden eyes narrowed. My strength draws their aim. He growled, realization dawning. His power made him a target, not a victor. Cyril's lights pulsed erratically. Rule analysis. 98% probability of systemic abuse. Historical precedents align. His facets spun, cross-referencing galactic treaties. The rule was a weapon. Lucian brightened intermittently. Paranoia swirled through the room. His form shifted, mirroring the growing unease. Whispers spread, coalitions forming in hushed tones. The tentacled being leaned closer. Vote the human out. Earth falls. Its voice dripped malice. Appendages gestured, rallying others. A chorus of agreement rose, low and menacing. Hale remained impassive. His gaze swept the room. He catalogued reactions. Conformists clung to power plays. Disruptors questioned. His eyes settled on Mira, expectant. Mira's notebook closed with a snap. She stood, voice steady. You see claws, scales, toxins. I see a rule that can erase us all. Her words sliced through the murmurs. Precise. Lethal. The room stilled. Corvin paused, scales shifting. He sat slowly. Speak, human. His growl held respect. Her logic cut deeper than claws. Cyril's facets aligned. Systemic vulnerability confirmed. Exploitation probability critical. His lights pulsed in agreement, steady now. Lucian radiated a soft glow. Consensus emerged. His light illuminated nearby candidates, easing the air. Mira's words reshaped the battlefield. Hale's lips twitched, a ghost of a smile. The spark he sought burned in Mira, a mind that saw beyond the obvious. Whispers turned to debates. Psychic entities broadcast doubts. The exam's fairness crumbled under scrutiny. The telepathic being hissed, its aura retreating further. The furred creature exhaled, a thunderous rumble. She's right. Rules can kill faster than claws. It leaned back, rethinking its stance. Gas entities condensed, their forms sharper. They voiced ethereal concerns. A rule that destroys worlds is no test. Their words floated, heavy with agreement. Mira elaborated, voice calm. This rule is a flawed bridge. One wrong load, and it collapses. Taking us with it. She compared it to interstellar engineering. Precision won nods from skeptics. The holograms flickered subtly. As if responding, hidden systems watched, recorded. The room was alive, judging. Corvin muttered low. You strike without weapons, human. Deeper than blades. Respect rumbled in his chest. He saw her strength now. The tentacled being stilled. Its coalition wavered. Doubt crept into its hisses. Others backed away, rethinking their votes. Mira stood taller. An engineer, not a warrior. Yet the room turned to her. Her notebook stayed closed. The system was her diagram now. Flaws exposed. The timer ticked. 80 minutes left. Tension coiled tighter. The exam's true test emerged. Not strength, insight. The holographic walls flared. Annotations burned into view. Any candidate identified as the greatest threat will be immediately disqualified, along with their species. The words sank like a blade. Silence gripped the lecture hall. Eyes darted, scanning rivals. Minds recalculated. The rule's true weight landed. A single vote could erase a civilization. The air grew dense, electric with suspicion. Mira Quinn sat rigid, her brow furrowed. Her human perspective caught the trap. This wasn't a test of strength, it was political. A mechanism to purge entire species through collective accusation. Her notebook lay open, pencil scratching fast. She diagrammed the rule's cascade effect. One vote against Earth could end humanity's place in the galaxy. Her pulse quickened, but her face stayed calm. Logic held her steady. General Corvin Drake's scales tensed. His golden eyes narrowed to slits. My strength draws their aim. His growl was low, edged with unease. The Dravar warrior's massive frame shifted. 3 meters of muscle and armor, once a badge of dominance, now felt like a target. He scanned the room. Allies, enemies. The rule turned his power against him. He clenched a clawed fist, claws scraping his seat. Cyril Vance's crystalline facets pulsed erratically. Data streamed through his silicon form. He cross-referenced the rule against galactic history. 98% probability of systemic abuse. Precedents confirm. Similar frameworks toppled empires. His metallic voice cut sharply. His lights flickered, mapping the rule's flaws. The threat wasn't in the candidates, it was in the text itself. His facets spun, locking onto the holograms. Lucian Darrow's mist-like form swirled. Paranoia thickened the room. His glow brightened in jagged bursts, mirroring the collective unease. He hovered closer to Mira, drawn to her calm. Silent, he absorbed the shifting emotions. Whispers spread through the rows, a rising tide of suspicion. His form contracted, bracing against the storm of doubt. The tentacled candidate from an aquatic world hissed, "Humans are weak. Vote them out." Its appendages writhed, pointing at Mira. Insidious intent gleamed in its bulbous eyes. A coalition formed in murmurs. Others nodded, their voices low and venomous. "Earth falls easily." The words dripped malice. Mira became their target, a soft mark in a room of predators. Professor Roland Hale stood impassively at his podium. His gaunt frame leaned on his cane, etched with interstellar runes. His sharp eyes swept the room. He cataloged reactions. Conformists chased power plays. Disruptors eyed the system. His silence was deliberate. He waited for the spark, the one who'd see the trap. His gaze lingered on Mira, then flicked away. Mira's pencil moved faster. Her notebook was filled with rule interactions, accusations as dominoes. One vote could spark wars. She saw interstellar conflicts unfolding from a single misstep. Her engineering mind mapped the exam like a faulty circuit. Flaws glared in red ink. Earth's survival hung on her next move. She closed her eyes briefly, breathing steadily. The answer wasn't in the room. It was in the rules. The furred behemoth from a high-gravity planet exhaled. Its breath rumbled like thunder. Deflect the vote. Save ourselves. Its massive frame leaned forward, muscles rippling under thick hide. Its eyes darted to weaker species. Survival math ran in its head. It growled low, calculating alliances to shift the blame. The rule's shadow loomed, twisting strength into liability. Gas-based entities swirled above. Their ethereal forms tightened, less diffuse. They added to the ozone scent, their silence heavy. They watched power dynamics shift below. Observers, not actors, but their presence pressed on the room. One pulsed faintly, voicing a concern. "A rule that destroys worlds is no test." The words floated, ethereal but firm. The atmosphere shifted. Bravado crumbled. Calculation rose. Sidelong glances multiplied. Whispers turned sharp, plotting. The hall's air grew heavier. Pheromones mixed with fear. Ozone stung the senses. Verbal confrontations brewed, ready to ignite. Mira stood, notebook in hand. The greatest threat isn't fangs or armor. It's the architect of rules that can obliterate species on a whim. Her voice sliced through the murmurs, precise, lethal. The room stilled. Her words landed like a plasma bolt, burning away noise. Candidates froze, eyes locked on her. Corvin paused his posturing. His scales shifted, clinking softly. He sat slowly, processing her insight. "Depth in your words, human." His growl carried grudging respect. His warrior code bent toward her cunning. He leaned forward, golden eyes fixed on her. A spark of alliance flickered. Cyril's facets aligned. Systemic vulnerability confirmed. Rule exploitation probability exceeds tolerable thresholds. His metallic voice rang clear. Lights steadied in agreement. He projected a simulation, brief and stark. Accusations cascading into disqualifications. The room's data shifted in his favor. Lucian radiated a steady glow. Consensus emerged. His light touched nearby candidates, softening tensions. His form expanded slightly, reflecting the room's pivot. Silent support spread, a bridge across species. Mira's words reshaped the battlefield, and he amplified their weight. Whispers turned to debates. A psychic entity broadcast doubts. This isn't fairness, it's control. Mental links hummed, spreading unease. The telepathic being's aura pulsed, weaker now. Its earlier probe had failed against Cyril's resistance. It retreated, hissing softly. Hale leaned forward, cane steady. His eyes gleamed with anticipation. The first challenge to authority rose. His plan unfolded. He spoke, voice raspy but firm. What if the rule serves power? A rhetorical nudge. Discussions tilted toward critique. His hand stayed hidden, guiding without revealing. Mira elaborated, voice calm. This rule is a flawed bridge. One wrong load, and it collapses, taking us all down. She held up her notebook. A sketch showed a star bridge buckling under stress. Candidates leaned in. Her engineering precision mirrored the exam's trap. Nods spread among skeptics. Gas entities condensed further. Species-wide repercussions demand reform. Their voices echoed, ethereal but united. Their forms stabilized, aligning with Mira's logic. Solidarity grew in the air, a silent vote for change. Corvin muttered low. You strike without weapons, human, wound deeper. His voice rumbled respect. His massive frame relaxed slightly. He met Mira's gaze. A bridge formed, not of steel but of understanding. The holograms flickered subtly. Upheaval registered. Hidden systems hummed, recording every word. The room was alive, judging. Candidates felt it. Eyes darted to the walls, searching for unseen watchers. Clusters formed. A telepathic species joined Cyril. Their auras merged in analytical harmony. Data validates the flaw. Their mental link pulsed, sharing insights. The tentacled being hesitated, appendages stilling. Its coalition wavered. Our alliances faced the same threat. Support shifted. Furred creatures added analogies. Like traps on our worlds, bait and snap. Their deep voices enriched the debate. Experience grounded Mira's theory. They leaned in, no longer plotting deflections. Tensions eased. Collaborative energy rose. Mira stood at the center, an unlikely pivot. Her calm logic bridged disparate worldviews. An engineer, not a warrior, yet the room turned to her. The timer ticked. 65 minutes left. Alliances formed faster. Insights pooled. The exam morphed into a microcosm of diplomacy. Mira's notebook stayed open, her pencil still. She didn't need it now. The room was her diagram. Flaws exposed. The system itself was the enemy. The timer ticked. 60 minutes left. The lecture hall hummed with debates. Clusters tightened. Mira Quinn stood at the center. Her notebook sketches passed hand to tentacle. Reforms visualized. Candidates nodded. Her logic cut through alien divides. She spoke again. Calm. Firm. The greatest threat isn't fangs or armor. It's the architect of rules that can obliterate species on a whim. Notebook in hand. Voice is like a precision tool. Murmurs died. Eyes locked on her. The room held its breath. General Corvin Drake paused. His posturing stopped. Scales shifted with a soft clink. He processed her words. Slowly reseated. Human insight runs deep. His growl carried weight. Respect edged in. His golden eyes met hers. No challenge. Acknowledgement. Cyril Vance vocalized. Metallic tone is sharp. Systemic vulnerability confirmed. Rule exploitation probability exceeds tolerable thresholds. Facets aligned. Lights steadied in agreement. He projected a quick simulation. Flaws highlighted in red. Candidates leaned in. Data backed her claim. Lucian Darrow radiated a steady glow. Consensus built. His light illuminated the cluster. Nearby candidates relaxed a fraction. Tensions eased. His form expanded. Silent bridge across species. Mira's words gained traction. The room shifted under their weight. Whispers evolved. Open debates sparked. Psychic entities broadcast doubts. The exam's fairness, a lie. Mental links pulsed. Questions spread like fire. The telepathic being retracted its aura, hissed softly. Its earlier probes failed. Now it listened. Professor Roland Hale leaned forward, cane steady in his grip. Eyes gleamed. Anticipation rose. The challenge emerged. His voice stayed silent. He watched. The spark he sought burned brighter. Mira's stand was the key. Mira elaborated. The rule's design is flawed. Like interstellar bridges under uneven loads. They collapse. She pointed to her sketch. A bridge buckling. Stress points marked. Analogies hit home. Skeptics nodded. Engineering truth mirrored the trap. A vote erases worlds. That's no test. That's control. Gas-based entities condensed. Forms sharpened. Ethereal voices rose. Repercussions span species. Reform now. They stabilized. Solidarity formed above. Their ozone scent thickened. Silent observers turned vocal. Mira's logic pulled them in. Corvin muttered, "You strike without weapons, human. Wound deeper." His voice rumbled reluctant respect. Massive frame relaxed. He crossed his arms. Scales gleamed under the dome's light. A warrior bowed to intellect. The room's holographics flickered. Subtle response. Intellectual upheaval registered. Hidden mechanisms whirred. The walls seemed to listen. Candidates glanced up. Unease mixed with resolve. Clusters grew. Telepathic species aligned with Cyril. Auras merged. Data confirms the flaw. Harmony built. Analytical minds united. Simulations ran. Outcomes projected. Cascading failures shown. Corvin approached Mira. Shadow cast by his frame. Truce holds. Dig into politics. His proposal rumbled. Galactic origins of the rule. He loomed but listened. No dominance. Partnership. Lucian positioned closer. Light modulated. Arguments highlighted. Nonverbal cues flowed. Species barriers cracked. His glow pulsed in rhythm. Unity's silent enforcer. Mira sketched amendments. Visuals shared. Potential reforms drawn clean. Skeptics converted. Precision engineering won battles without fire. Cyril computed scenarios. Holograms lit with alternatives. Accusations led to chaos. Disqualifications rippled. Eyes widened. The rule's danger is clear. Hale intervened. Minimal. Does the rule protect or oppress? Rhetorical. Discussions nudged deeper. Critique sharpened. His hand was hidden. Guiding unseen. Tentacled beings retracted. Hostilities gone. Our alliances risk the same. Whispers supportive. Aquatic ties threatened. They joined. Coalition flipped. Furred creatures contributed. Traps on our world snapped like this. Analogies grounded. Dialogue deepened. Experience fueled the fire. Tensions melted. Collaboration surged. Mira pivoted. Calm logic bridged gaps. Unlikely leader in a gray uniform. Timer ticked. 50 minutes left. Alliances accelerated. Insights fused. The exam became diplomacy's forge. Mira declared boldly, "The rule itself is the ultimate threat. Erases civilizations arbitrarily." Words silenced the hall. Breaths held. Realization crashed in. Corvin nodded solemnly. Human vision pierces armor. Stance shifted. Deference clear. Cyril affirmed. Abuse vector at critical levels. Reform imperative. Lights locked. Endorsement solid. Hale stepped forward. Kane echoed on the floor. At last, courage speaks. Revelation spilled. The exam's true purpose. Identify challengers of unjust systems. The second twist unfolded. No species elimination. Test sought leaders who question obedience. Humanity proved through Mira. Lucian erupted. Brilliant luminescence. Relief's light. Form expanded. Warmth enveloped allies. Holographics dissolved rule. Commendations bloomed. Gas rippled through rows. Mira processed. Notebook closed. Symbol of shift. Analysis to action. Corvin extended his hand. Scaled grip offered. Respect forged a bond. Interspecies tie born in debate. Hall transformed. Tension to triumph. Hale's words redefined power. Principled dissent ruled. The dome's light softened. Shadows played on faces. Candidates exchanged glances, awe mixed with understanding. Mira stood tall. Her average build now commanded the space. Cyril's facets dimmed briefly. Integration of humanity advised. His data streams are archived the moment. Galactic records updated. Lucian shone vivid. Unity's testament. Light faded as calm settled. Academy speakers hummed. New curriculum announced. Strategic dissent and systemic analysis. Mira invited. Honorary instructor. Breakthrough honored. She departed the hall. Notebook tucked under arm. Gazes trailed her. Awe, reevaluation. Ordinary form iconic. Secondary candidates dispersed. Lessons carried. Subtlety over strength. Reforms seeded across worlds. Hale retired to chambers, satisfied. Legacy extended through the event. Dome lights dimmed further. Closure. Whispers promised a change in governance. Mira reflected outside. Earth's role in the cosmos. Victory affirmed intellect. Stars equalized by the mind. Narrative closed. The universe altered subtly. Challenging rules became leadership's mark. The assembly breathed easier. Bonds formed in fire. Mira's stand echoed. A human engineer reshaped the stars. The lecture hall pulsed with new energy. Mira Quinn stood at the center of a growing cluster. Her gray uniform, plain and unadorned, contrasted with the room's chaos. Candidates leaned in, drawn by her logic. Her notebook passed from tentacle to claw. Sketches of reformed rules circulated, clean lines, precise fixes. The timer ticked. 45 minutes left. Alliances formed fast. Mira spoke, voice steady. This rule threatens us all. We rewrite it. Together. Her words landed sharply. No grand gestures, just truth. Eyes met hers. Scales, facets, and ethereal forms aligned. A coalition built on reason, not fear. General Corvin Drake loomed closer. His shadow fell heavily. Truce holds, human. Dig deeper. His growl was firm but cooperative. 3 meters of scaled muscle bent toward her. Galactic politics needed dissecting. He offered a clawed hand. Not dominance, partnership. Show me the roots. Cyril Vance's facets spun. Lights pulsed in rhythm. Simulations complete. Accusation cascades led to 92% probability of systemic collapse. His metallic voice cut through. A holographic projection flared. Red lines traced outcomes. Votes toppling species. Chaos spreading. Candidates gasped. His data sealed Mira's argument. Lucian Darrow hovered near. His mist-like form glowed steadily. Light modulated, highlighting Mira's words. Nonverbal cues bridged gaps. His presence amplified arguments. Silent, he wove unity. Species barriers cracked under his soft radiance. The room's paranoia faded. A telepathic species joined the cluster. Their auras merged with Cyril's logic. Data validates her claim. Mental links hummed. Thoughts broadcast to allies. The rule is a cage. Their sleek, eyeless forms pulsed. Agreement spread like a signal. Doubt turned to defiance. Professor Roland Hale watched from his podium. Cane still, eyes sharp. He posed a question, voice raspy. Who benefits from silence? Rhetorical. It nudged discussions deeper. Critique sharpened. His hand stayed hidden, guiding without force. The spark he sought burned brighter. Tentacled candidates shifted. Hostilities gone. Our aquatic alliances face the same trap. Their hisses softened. Appendages stilled. They leaned in, joining the cluster. We stand with the human. Support flipped. A coalition once aimed at Mira now backed her. Furred creatures rumbled analogies. On our worlds, traps bait and snap. This rule is no different. Their deep voices grounded the debate. Muscular frames leaned closer. Experience fueled Mira's thesis. We see it now. The system hunts us all. Nods spread. Mira sketched amendments. Her notebook became a blueprint. Equal votes, no species penalties. Lines drawn fast, shared with the group. Visuals showed a balanced system. Skeptics converted. Her engineering precision won battles without fire. Candidates passed the pages, murmuring approval. Cyril projected more scenarios. Holograms lit with alternatives. Amended rules reduced collapse risk to 12%. Data streamed. Visuals showed stable outcomes. No cascading failures. The room exhaled, his logic locked in the coalition's resolve. Lucian's glow pulsed brighter. He drifted among the cluster. Light touched each candidate, a silent signal. Unity strengthened, his form expanded, reflecting the room's shift. Aggression melted into collaboration. He became the group's unspoken anchor. Corvin spoke, voice low. "Human, your mind is sharper than my claws." Respect clear. He crossed his arms. Scales gleamed under the dome's light. "Dravar will back your reforms." A warrior's code bent fully to intellect. An interspecies bond solidified. Hale intervened again. "What holds power if rules fall?" Another nudge. Discussions pivoted. Candidates questioned galactic hierarchies. Who wrote the exam? Why? The room buzzed with theories. Hale's eyes gleamed. His test unfolded perfectly. The gas-based entities condensed further. Reform or ruin? Their ethereal voices echoed. Forms stabilized, adding weight to the debate. This rule serves the old powers. Ozone thickened as they spoke. Silent observers turned active allies. A psychic entity broadcast a memory, an ancient treaty. Similar rules crushed our kin centuries ago. Mental images flashed. Worlds silenced by votes. The room stirred. History backed Mira's stand. The coalition grew tighter. Mira stood taller. "We're not here to name threats. We're here to break the system that makes us threats." Her voice carried, unshaken. She pointed to her sketch. "This is how we start." Candidates nodded. Her calm logic became the room's pulse. The holograms flickered, subtle, responsive. Hidden systems recorded every word. The walls seemed alive, judging. Candidates glanced up, uneasy but focused. The exam's true stakes clarified. Not survival, change. Corvin leaned in. "What's the next step, human?" His growl held no challenge, only purpose. He scanned the cluster. "We move as one." His massive frame anchored the group's resolve. Cyril's light steadied. Consensus achieved. Reform protocol viable. He projected a final simulation. A balanced system. Votes without annihilation. Probability of success, 87%. The room exhaled again. Data drove hope. Lucian's glow softened. Warm, inclusive. His light wrapped the cluster. A silent vow. He drifted closer to Mira, reflecting her calm. The room's emotional storm settled. Unity took root. The tentacled being spoke. "We were wrong. Humans aren't weak." Its voice was a soft hiss. Appendages gestured toward Mira. "You see what we missed." The coalition's shift was complete. Allies now, not enemies. Furred creatures added weight. "Our world's no traps. We'll help dismantle this one." Their thunderous voices carried resolve. They joined the sketches, pointing to flaws. Collaboration deepened. Mira closed her notebook. "We don't need more diagrams. We need action." Her words were a spark. The cluster tightened. Candidates stood closer. Scales, tentacles, and light aligned. A microcosm of galactic diplomacy formed. The timer ticked. 30 minutes left. Urgency surged. Alliances locked in. Insights fused. The exam's purpose twisted. No longer a test of threats. A forge for reform. Corvin raised a clawed hand. "We vote as one. The rule falls." His scales flared. Not in threat, in solidarity. The room rumbled with agreement. Cyril's facets aligned perfectly. Unified action is optimal. Systemic change initiated. His lights pulsed once, firm. Data sealed the pact. Lucian shone vivid, a beacon of unity. His form stabilized, reflecting the room's resolve. Silent support became a visible force. Hale watched, Kane still. A ghost of a smile. The crucible burned hot. His test found its champions. Mira led, but the room followed. A new galaxy took shape. The holograms steadied. Commendations waited. The walls listened. Change brewed. Mira's stand reshaped the stars. An engineer's mind became the sharpest weapon. The lecture hall vibrated with purpose. Mira Quinn stood at the coalition's core. Her gray uniform, plain and unassuming, now drew every eye. The timer ticked. 20 minutes left. Clusters tightened, unified by her logic. Sketches of reformed rules lay forgotten. Action took precedence. The room pulsed as one. Mira raised her voice. The rule itself is the ultimate threat. It erases civilizations on a vote. Her words crashed like a wave. The hall was silent, breaths held. Realization gripped the assembly. Scales, tentacles, and ethereal forms froze. Her truth exposed the exam's core. General Corvin Drake nodded, solemn. Human, your vision pierces armor. His massive frame leaned forward. Scales gleamed under the dome's cold light. Dominance gone. Deference clear. He raised a clawed hand, not in threat but solidarity. Dravar stands with you. Cyril Vance's facets locked, light stabilized. Abuse vector at critical levels. Reform imperative. His metallic voice rang firm. A holographic simulation flared briefly. Rule-driven chaos mapped in red. Systemic collapse probability, 95% without change. Data cemented her stand. Lucian Darrow erupted in brilliant luminescence. Relief washed through his form. Mist-like light expanded, enveloping allies in warmth. The room's paranoia dissolved. His glow pulsed, reflecting collective enlightenment. Silent, he unified the coalition further. Professor Roland Hale stepped forward. His cane echoed on the floor. At last, courage speaks. His raspy voice cut sharply. Eyes gleamed with triumph. The exam's true purpose spilled. We seek not obedient tacticians. We seek those who challenge unjust systems. His words stunned the room. The second twist landed. No species faced elimination. The test was a crucible for leaders who questioned blind obedience. Humanity's metal shone through Mira. Gasps rippled. Eyes widened. The holograms dissolved the rule's text. Commendations bloomed in blue. Atlas honors dissent. Mira processed the revelation. Her notebook stayed closed. A symbolic shift. Analysis turned to action. Her average frame stood taller. An engineer, not a warrior, yet the room's pivot. Her pulse steadied. Earth's fate no longer hung in balance. It led. Corvin extended a scaled hand. You fought without claws, won without blood. Respect forged a bond. His golden eyes met hers. Interspecies trust is born in debate. Dravar learns from Earth today. Cyril's lights pulsed once. Conclusion, humanity essential for systemic resilience. His facets aligned perfectly. Data streams are archived the moment. Integration recommended. His metallic tone carried finality. The galaxy would remember this. Lucian's glow softened. Warmth lingered. His form stabilized. A testament to unity. Silent, he radiated the room's triumph. The emotional storm settled. His light wrapped the coalition, a quiet vow of solidarity. The hall transformed. Tension melted into triumph. Hale's disclosure redefined power. Principled dissent ruled. Candidates exchanged glances, awe mixed with understanding. Scales clinked. Tentacles stilled. Ethereal forms pulsed in rhythm. A telepathic candidate broadcast a thought. The system feared her mind. Mental links hummed. Images of broken treaties flashed. The coalition nodded. Mira's stand echoed through their thoughts. Humans reshaped their view of strength. The tentacled being spoke. We misjudged you, human. Its hiss softened. Appendages gestured in respect. Your logic saves us all. The aquatic coalition joined fully. No longer plotting Earth's fall, now allies. Furred creatures rumbled in agreement. Traps snapped silently. You saw this one. Their thunderous voices carried weight. Muscles relaxed. They leaned toward Mira. We follow your lead. Experience bowed to intellect. Hale raised a hand. Silence fell. The exam ends. Its purpose fulfilled. His cane tapped once. Atlas trains leaders, not followers. Today, humanity proves its place. His gaunt frame straightened, eyes locked on Mira. A faint nod, his legacy secured. The holograms flared brighter. Commendations listed names. Mira glowed first. Candidates murmured. Respect replaced suspicion. The walls seemed to hum, recording the shift. Hidden systems cataloged the moment. Mira exhaled. Her notebook rested under her arm. She felt the room's weight. not as a target, as a catalyst. Her calm held, but pride flickered. Humanity stood taller, not through claws or toxins, through reason. Corvin stepped closer. You've earned a warrior's honor. His scales flared briefly. Not a threat. Salute. He towered over her, but his stance was equal. Dravar will speak of this day. Cyril projected a final data set. Humanity's contribution, incalculable. Systemic reform viability, 89%. His lights dimmed, task complete. Earth's place is earned. His crystalline form gleamed, achieving the victory. Lucian drifted near Mira. His glow pulsed softly. A silent thank you. His form expanded, wrapping her in light. The room's unity reflected in his radiance. He hovered, a quiet guardian of the moment. The timer stopped. 10 minutes early. The hall exhaled. Tensions dissolved fully. Candidates stood closer. Scales brushed tentacles. Ethereal forms mingled with solid ones. The air lightened. Ozone faded. Hale spoke again. The galaxy needs dissenters. Leaders who see beyond rules. His voice softened, almost weary. You've shown us that today. He leaned on his cane. Eyes swept the room. Pride hid behind his stern facade. A psychic entity pulsed. Her mind broke the cage. Thoughts broadcast. Images of shattered chains. The coalition tightened. Mira's stand became legend in their minds. The tentacled being is offered a tool, a small, intricate device. For your reforms. Its voice was earnest. Appendages extended in peace. Mira nodded, accepting. A gesture of trust. Furred creatures growled low. We'll carry this lesson home. Their massive frames relaxed fully. They pointed to Mira's sketches. Your designs hold. Respect cemented. The gas-based entities floated lower. Change begins here. Their voices echoed, ethereal but firm. Forms stabilized. They joined the coalition's core. Ozone softened. Solidarity solidified. Mira spoke, voice quiet but clear. We didn't win by fighting. We won by seeing. Her words carried weight. The room nodded. Her notebook, now closed, symbolized the shift. Earth's intellect led the stars. The holograms steadied. Commendations finalized. Mira's name glowed brightest. The walls hummed, archiving the moment. The galaxy shifted. A human engineer redefined power. The lecture hall basked in triumph's glow. Mira Quinn stood amid the coalition. Her gray uniform, once a mark of obscurity, now commanded respect. The holograms faded. Commendations lingered in blue. Candidates turned to her. Scales clinked. Tentacles stilled. Ethereal lights pulsed. The air lightened. Ozone softened. Unity held. General Corvin Drake bowed low. His massive frame bent. 3 meters of scaled muscle humbled. Clawless combat, yet victorious. His voice rumbled softly. Gesture symbolized interstellar humility. Golden eyes met hers. No longer predator. Equal. You teach Dravar a new way. Cyril Vance's facets dimmed. Lights pulsed final. Humanity vital for resilience. Integration recommended. His metallic tone carried closure. Data streams archived the event. Galactic records etched Mira's stand. His crystalline form steadied. A nod to her. Logic's victory logged. Lucian Darrow shone vivid. A silent testament to unity. His mist-like form expanded. Light wrapped the room. Warm. Inclusive. It faded gently. Resolutions formed. His glow lingered on Mira. Emotional bridges solidified. Academy speakers hummed. New curriculum, strategic dissent, and systemic analysis. Words echoed. Mira was invited as an honorary instructor. Her perceptive breakthrough is honored. Candidates murmured approval. Reforms seeded. The hall's acoustics carried the announcement. Change formalized. Mira departed the hall, notebook tucked under arm, footsteps steady on the polished floor. Gazes trailed her, awe mixed with reevaluation. Her ordinary form is iconic. Brown hair tied back, average build. Yet she walked taller. No longer just an engineer, a catalyst. Secondary candidates dispersed. Tentacled beings slithered out. Furred creatures lumbered. Gas entities floated away. Lessons carried. Subtlety over strength. Homeworlds awaited. Reforms would spread across stars. Whispers of the exam spread. Coalitions formed in transit bays. Galactic shifts began. Professor Roland Hale retired to his chambers. Kane tapped the corridor. Silver hair caught the dim light. Gaunt frame moved slowly. Satisfied, he had cultivated reformers. Legacy extended. The exam's success was etched in his mind. The door sealed behind him. A quiet smile. Job done. The dome ceiling's lights dimmed, symbolizing closure. Shadows lengthened. Whispers of the event echoed. Ripples in galactic governance promised. Rules questioned. Systems scrutinized. The academy stood as a beacon. Change rippled outward. Mira stepped into the outer corridor. Cool air brushed her skin. She paused, reflected on Earth's role in the cosmos. Her victory affirmed intellect, the true equalizer among stars. No claws, no toxins, just reason. Pride swelled. Humanity's place secured. Corvin caught up. His steps were heavy but respectful. Human, wait. He loomed beside her. Scales gleamed faintly. You changed me, from warrior to thinker. His golden eyes softened, a rare vulnerability. Dravar owes you. Mira turned, met his gaze. We all owe each other, that's the point. Her voice was steady, calm as ever, but fiercer now, doubt gone, proud of her species, from navigating Earth's mazes to breaking galactic rules. Growth etched in her stance. Cyril approached, facets shimmering. Data exchange, his metallic offer, a link to share. Mira nodded. Humanity's archives could benefit. Integration started here. Bonds deepened, not just words, actions. Lucian drifted near, glow softly. He pulsed once, silent approval. His light touched her, warmth spread, emotional tie without speech. Mira smiled faintly. Unity felt real. The group walked together, brief, tentacled allies joined. Our worlds will hear of you, hisses softly. Respectful, furred creatures rumbled. You lead without force. Gas entities floated. Reform follows. Mira felt the shift, from naive outsider to fierce advocate, doubtful of her place to be proud of humanity's edge. Intellect over might, ethics over obedience. The galaxy bent to it. Her mind raced. Earth's stories of justice echoed here. She gripped her notebook, a tool, not a weapon, yet it felled a system. Hale's words lingered. Leaders who dare. She embodied it. The corridor opened to stars. Vista vast. Planets orbited distance. She stopped. Group halted. In a universe of power, the real threat is blind rules. We challenge them. That's our hope. Her dialogue carried meaning. Deep in her psychology, pride mixed with humility, fierce resolve, doubt erased, humanity's superiority in ethics shone. She left the rest unsaid. Let them imagine the ripples. The stars waited. The narrative concluded. Universe subtly altered. Challenging flawed rules became leadership's hallmark. Echoes spread, silent, profound.